Renting abroad or build back home. I ran the real 20-year wealth test. Same income, same monthly budget, and at the end, what you expect. Person A, who is renting in the UK. Let's start with the option that's safest: renting. Low commitment, temporary, just for now, until the visa is sorted, until you are ready, until someday. And that someday is exactly where the money quietly leaks out. Person A rents a flat in London and pays a landlord every month, telling themselves that they will buy eventually.
Person A rents for £1,400 a month.
No deposit tied up, no maintenance, no risk, just a monthly payment that feels like the responsible, flexible choice. Over 20 years with realistic annual rent increases, that's well over £400,000 paid out. And at the end of person A, owns nothing, no equity, no asset, just 20 years of receipts. And here is the landlords never want you to think about that. That 400,000 didn't disappear. It went somewhere. It builds someone else's wealth, your landlords and not yours. This isn't about shaming anyone for renting. Sometimes it's genuinely the right call, and we will get to that when. It's about seeing clearly where that money actually goes. Because the moment you realize you're funding someone else's asset every single month, you can start asking the better question: what if that same money built yours instead? Before we go further, if you want the full framework for building wealth strategically while you are still working abroad, I've written a complete guide on exactly this. The link is in the description. Person B, now the other path, the same money, but instead of landlord, it goes home. And I will be honest with you up front, this road is slower and scarier than people expect. Person B has the same income and the same monthly amount, but instead of handing it to a landlord, they decided to send it home and build a property year by year. The same money out the door every month, completely different destination. Let's be real about this path, because it's not risk-free. There are delays. Sometimes contractors disappear with deposits. Sometimes family helps more than they were asked to. I'm not going to pretend building back home is smooth. It isn't. But here's how it plays out when you see it through. By year 10, the structure is complete. By year 15, it's rented out and generating income. By year 20, person B owns a fully built, appreciating, income-generating assets and has been collecting rent for the last 5 years on top of it. The same money that bought person A nothing bought person B an asset that now pays them. The risks are real, but they are manageable, and they are the difference between this carelessly and doing it right. Delays end. Contractors can be overseen. The key is that at the end of this 20 years, person B owns something, and that something pays them every month. Slowed and old beats faster, empty every single time. So let's put them side by side at 20 years and listen carefully, because the gap between these two isn't what you expect. Two people, the same income, the same monthly budget, same 20 years. One difference: where the money went. And here is the card. Person A has spent over £400,000 and has zero net worth from housing. Nothing to sell, nothing to pass on, nothing that pays them. Person B has spent a similar amount, but now owns a property worth significantly more than what was put in, plus years of rental income on top. Not because person B earned dramatically more, not because person B got lucky, purely because person B was building their own equity while person A was building someone else. That's the whole lesson in one image. The lever was never how much you earn. It's where your money goes. And that's not luck or privilege. It's a decision. And it's one you get to make starting from your very next payment. Let me be fair, because this isn't a video telling you renting is always the wrong move. It isn't, and I will be lying to you if I pretended it was that simple. This is the honest self-check. There are real situations where renting abroad is the smart, short-term decision, and pretending otherwise will just be selling you something. If you are early in your career, if your residency status is genuinely uncertain, or if you are actively saving towards a bigger move, renting can be exactly the right call for now. The danger isn't renting itself. It's renting by default for 20 years while telling yourself it's temporarily. So ask yourself two honest questions. 1. Is my situation abroad temporarily, or is it actually long-term? 2. Am I redirecting the difference into something that builds, or just spending it? Your answers tell you which path you are really on, regardless of which one you think you are on. So the goal here was never to hand you the answer. It's to hand you the framework to find your answer. Renting isn't the enemy. Renting on autopilot is. Get honest about those two questions, and you will know exactly what your next move should be. If you are serious about which path actually fits your life, and how you are going to build back home without the delays and disappearing deposits, that's exactly what I walk through in the Diaspora Gold Mine Principle, which is available on Amazon. The link is below this video. You didn't move abroad just to survive endlessly, handing over £400,000 across 2 decades with nothing to show for it. You moved for freedom, and freedom is built with intentional financial decisions, not default ones. Now you've seen both paths side by side with the same money, so the choice stops being a vague someday and becomes a decision you can make today. So get honest about your situation, decide where your money should really be going, and take the first step, because the only path that guarantees you nothing in 20 years is the one you never choose on purpose. If you are serious about building real wealth as an African in the diaspora, visit the link in the description of this video and subscribe to Diaspora African Success, because this channel is built to help you stop surviving and start building lasting wealth. And comment below, are you renting abroad or building back home, and why? Now that you know how renting abroad really stacks up against building back home over 20 years, you might be wanting to learn how to make building back home actually pay off. The 4 decisions that turn £40,000 into an income-producing asset instead of an empty shell full of disappearing deposits and delays. But how do you actually do that? Well, it all starts by watching this video next right here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in that video, it's way more powerful. So see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.